Celebrities have their place in society, obviously. They encourage us, inspire us, whatever word you want to use. But when it comes to relationships, in most cases, I would say stay far away from celebrities. One of the viewers on the channel recently asked me this question, and the question is as follows. Good morning, question for you. You think Cardi B holds second best beliefs? As much as she wants to blame Offset, not saying he changed or anything like that, but part of her attracting him was her own set of beliefs. And this is what I replied back to her saying, absolutely. Growing up how she did, she knew Offset wasn't shit, most likely, but liked the attention and attitude because of what she likes and she craved. Thank you for this question. I'm gonna make a video about this, explaining my opinion along with other celebrity relationship drama and how it goes hand in hand with self-concept. Yes, that's what I figured, because her new man, I don't think is better, and she recently announced being pregnant by him as well. Exactly, she is getting ready to become what she grew up around, baby mama with multiple baby dads. Wow, I didn't even think of that. No work done on self equals repeating family patterns.
Scandy.
Mezio got that magic.
25.
Shaw won't scream my name. Shaw really wants to ring. Maybe.
Listen, the truth is, when it comes to celebrities, so many celebrities on the outside, they seem like they are the best. They seem like they have everything figured out. And that might be true when it comes to their craft at whatever it is that they're doing, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whether it's sports. They are the person in their field. But when it comes to what's really going on internally inside of them, a lot of these people are broken and they have absolutely no clue what they are doing. They have no clue how to maintain relationships. They have no clue how to trust. And as a result of that, you end up with people like Cardi B. You end up with people like Jennifer Lopez. You end up with people like Kim Kardashian. And I'm not making this video to bash any of these celebrities, because I think all of these celebrities have transcended their space and they've done a lot of great things in their fields. However, when it comes to romantic love, when it comes to maintaining certain relationships, we cannot deny, because we all see how this stuff plays out in the public eye. The thing that I notice about a lot of celebrities is the celebrities that seem the most secure are actually the most insecure internally. And as we know that study law of assumption, it's the inner state that matters, because whatever the inner state is, it is just a matter of time before your outer state reflects that reality. So many of these celebrities speak with a bravado where they always make it seem and sound like they are right or they know exactly what they want. And the reality is most of them don't know what they want. The reality is most of them will continue to go down the same exact path of disappointment after disappointment when it comes to relationships, when it comes to romantic love, because they do not understand the law of assumption. And so when I see people like a Cardi B go out and date somebody like a Offset, or go out and date somebody immediately after that in a Stefan Diggs, I immediately say to myself, she's getting ready to repeat the same old pattern. She's getting ready to most likely go through the same thing. Why? Because she hasn't addressed the original sin, as I like to say. You will most likely become what you grew up around if you don't nip that shit in the butt ASAP. Cardi B is no different from any of us out here. No matter how much money is in your bank account, that's not gonna save you. That's not gonna stop you from needing to do the internal work. And most of these celebrities need to do the internal work, and that is the part that they are avoiding, which is why none of them can really sustain relationships. It's because celebrities, they have so many limiting beliefs from childhood, from how they grew up, being around certain family members and friends. Seeing that in those environments. How do you think Cardi B grew up? Growing up in the Bronx, being a stripper, talking about, I used to drug men. I guarantee you she has second best beliefs. I guarantee you she has beliefs about not trusting men and all of that type of stuff. And she hasn't addressed it. And this is why she attracted a partner in Offset, the rapper, who disrespected her the way that he did. Like I said in my text message, she knew Offset wasn't shit. I mean, a lot of these women know a lot of these guys ain't shit. A lot of these rappers ain't shit. But why do they do it? Because they don't realize it's an unconscious programming that they will keep going back to. Also mixed in with ego, because a lot of these women, they have this ego where it says, oh, I can fix him. I can change him. No, you can't. Most of you guys aren't going to change the people that you're trying to go after. You know why? Because you're trying to change them from the 3D. You're trying to change them from the 3D perspective and not trying to change them from the 4D perspective. If you want somebody to change, you have to change yourself from the 4D perspective. You have to change them from the 4D perspective. But most of you are trying to change people from the 3D, do something physically to get them to change. And as we know, a lot of times that doesn't work. 4D work is what a Cardi B needs to do. The 4D work is what a Jennifer Lopez needs to do. Jennifer Lopez is another one. Jennifer Lopez, no doubt, she loves herself a lot. But Jennifer Lopez is another one that you got to be careful with affirmations that you say. And I say this to clients that I work with all the time. Be careful with affirmations that you say because some of these affirmations could come back to backfire on you. See, in my opinion, when I look at somebody that's been married 4 times or however many times Jennifer Lopez has been married, I already immediately know the problem is you. If you've been through something once, okay, yeah, I get it. When you've been divorced once, okay, yeah, I get it. When you've been divorced twice, maybe, okay, yeah, I get it. But when you've been divorced 3, 4, 5, 6 times, some of these people, at some point, when do you look in the mirror and realize you got to change something internally? It has nothing to do with the partners that you're attracting. Meaning you can blame them all you want, but who's the common denominator in all of these failed marriages? The common denominator is you. And J-Lo has an affirmation that she said, I remember seeing her on some show. It might have been an Oprah show. I don't remember what it was, but she's big into affirmations, which is good. And J-Lo she thinks that she loves herself. She's convinced herself that I really do love myself with some of these affirmations that I say. But she doesn't realize that these affirmations, I believe personally, are keeping her single. And that one affirmation is all the proof that I needed. She had an affirmation that she repeated saying something like, I'm good all by myself.
I'm good on my own. I love myself. I love you, Jennifer.
And you know what? In my opinion, guess what the universe does? The universe shows J-Lo continuously. You know what, J-Lo? You are good by yourself. I'm going to keep you single because you know why? You keep repeating you're good by yourself. So yes, you prove yourself right. You are good by yourself. And so what happens is she finds somebody, they break up. She finds somebody, they get married, they get divorced. And then they'll frame it as, oh, I'm choosing me. Yeah, you are choosing you. You're choosing you with your words and you're choosing you internally because you haven't figured out how to trust. You haven't figured out how to love. And that's the problem with so many of these celebrities. So many of these celebrities struggle with trusting, whether it's because of their fame, whether it's because of their money. They think people are out to get them. They don't know who to trust. It's hard to meet a random guy. It's hard to meet a random woman and say, you know what? I want you to be with me because I don't know if you love me for my money or if you love me for me. And these are all childhood wounds. These are all middle school wounds, teenage wounds. At some point, you have to go back to the core issues. None of these celebrities will never have successful relationships until they address the core issue. Kim Kardashian is another one. As secure and as strong as Kim Kardashian seems, even as a billionaire, all of the money that these people have net worths of 100 million, 500 million, over $1 billion. But they are some of the most insecure people in the world. And they think they're not insecure because, again, they'll label it and they'll say, I choose me. Oh, I walked away. Well, how many times are you going to walk away? Why do you have to even keep walking away? But most importantly, these people are insecure. You know how? Because they're not even satisfied with how they look. Look at all the surgeries that a Cardi B would have to get. Look at all the surgeries and Botox that a Kim Kardashian gets. And all of these other celebrities. Look how obsessed with aging they are. They don't want to age. It's like they're afraid of aging. The exact thing that they're afraid of, they naturally start to do. Because the thing that you try to avoid the most, the thing that you fear the most, ultimately, a lot of times ends up coming into your reality based on how strong that polarity is. Because a lot of this stuff is the same. It's just the same energy at two opposite ends of the spectrum. And so you got to really look at a lot of these celebrities, the celebrities that you really know who are really secure in themselves, the celebrities that don't need to be in the spotlight, the celebrities that don't need more money. You can tell that these celebrities that really are secure in themselves and really do love themselves and really do work on things because you tend to not hear about all of the negativity from them. They stay out of the news. Those are the people, in my opinion, that have a pretty damn good self-concept. But as I said before, when it comes to relationships, a lot of these celebrities, they really don't have it figured out. And a lot of these celebrities, until they really get down to the crux of what their issues are, which is something that probably stems from childhood or something that probably stems from an original breakup or whatever the case may be, I assure you, having more money, I assure you, getting more Botox, I assure you, getting more anything isn't going to solve your relationship issues. Nothing is going to solve your relationship issues until you do the internal work. Do not look up to any of these celebrity couples because you don't know if what you see in public is true and you definitely don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. A lot of these people are some of the most insecure people on the planet, even with all the money that they have, even with all the good looks that they have, all the attention, all the fame, all the everything. They are still extremely insecure. And this is a lesson that we should all learn from, because a lot of us, we're nowhere near their level of fame. We're nowhere near their level of finance. However, we are repeating the same mistakes that they are repeating, just on a smaller level. We are repeating the same family traumas. You are repeating what you saw your mom go through, what you saw your grandmother go through. You're repeating what you saw go on in your environment, just like a Cardi B. Growing up around prostitutes, growing up around pimps, being a stripper. That became her identity. And now she is acting like that identity. Do you think Cardi B wanted to grow up to get divorced and be a baby mom? Do you think Cardi B wanted to go and get another baby dad and get pregnant by another dude and now she has 2 baby dads? I assure you, she probably didn't want to go that route, because most people, in my opinion, don't intend on getting divorced. Now, there are some sick people out there that absolutely, they go into situations wanting to get a kid and wanting to get divorced because that's the dirty game they play. But for the most part, most people, they don't go into marriage with the intention of getting divorced, in my opinion. But what they also don't realize is, on a subconscious level, it almost becomes inevitable because you've taken on that identity for years. You can't just turn that off. Cardi B took on that street identity for years. Listen to how she talks. Listen to what she raps about. Look at how she dresses. Look at the people she hangs around. So it's like they say, you can take the person out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the person. And that's a 4D thing. Her 4D image of herself, her 4D image of the guys that she chooses to deal with, is still that Bronx environment. So until she deals with that internally, until a lot of these celebrities deal with that type of stuff internally, nothing is going to change. And I don't wish this on Cardi B, but I will not be surprised if Cardi B ends up breaking up with Stefan Diggs at some point, and now she's a single mom with 2 different baby dads, because this is the cycle that perpetuates. Wash, rinse, repeat. So now I ask you all out there, what affirmations are you saying that probably are subconsciously keeping you stuck? Are you like a J-Lo? Are you telling yourself, I'm good by myself, I'm okay by myself? And then the universe is reflecting back to you, you know what, you are good by yourself. Maybe you should switch that affirmation around, because you're saying that affirmation, not realizing internally you are keeping yourself single. Don't move on that subconscious level like a Cardi B. If you grew up in that environment, do everything you can to get out of that mindset of being around people like that. If you have a lot of money, if you have trust issues, figure out how you can deal with those trust issues. If you are insecure about your looks, like some of these people with money, and you feel like you need to get Botox, and you feel like you need to get surgery, you need to get BBLs, you need to get fake breasts, figure out where that insecurity is coming from. Figure out how you can really love yourself as you are. Because if you don't figure out these insecurities, what you're gonna do is you're gonna end up attracting yourself a Kanye West, just like Kim Kardashian. You're gonna end up attracting a Cardi B. You're gonna end up attracting an Offset, just like Cardi B. And now, like this viewer said, you're gonna end up attracting somebody like a Stefan Diggs, who's probably not better than Offset. A lot of these guys aren't living faithful lives. And so that second best belief will start to creep in, because Cardi B has so much evidence of her being second best. She has so much evidence of not being able to trust men. Those are the stories that she keeps repeating to herself. Those are the losses she keeps counting. She keeps counting how many times she was wrong when it came to men, and that inevitably is her reality. Same thing with J-Lo. I believe people like J-Lo are unhappy with themselves. They really aren't as happy as they say they are, as they think they are. And so they try to control the situation in the 3D. They try to control women in the 3D, or they'll try to control the men that they're with in the 3D. Say it has to be this way, it has to be that way. But where does that control come from? It comes from a lack of trust. It comes from a lack of love. It comes from a lack of letting others do as they need to do and accept them as they are. It comes with trying to maintain an image. It comes from trying to change the 3D before you change the 4D. To all of these celebrities, to all of you out there watching the video, the 4D internal state is what you need to change, not necessarily the 3D. Because until then, I assure you, get ready to repeat the mistakes of the environment you grew up around.